In western Germany, people are returning to towns and villages wrecked by devastating floods, which left more than 200 people dead across several Western European countries. Well, now, weather forecasters have announced there's more rain to come, causing new worries for people still busy digging through the mud and trying to come to terms with their losses.
Like other residents in the areas hardest hit by the torrential rains, bookstore owner Wolfgang Huste knew that a flood was coming.
These books like my child.
What he wasn't told was how extreme it would be. First, the fire brigade came and said, please leave all buildings within 50 meters of the river or move to higher floors. And then, about 10 minutes later, if I'm not mistaken, there was a short siren alarm. I also briefly heard church bells. Then it was over. There was a deathly silence. It was spooky, like in a horror film. With cleanup efforts underway, the extent of the damage for local businesses is becoming clear. Nothing left. We built this all up with our own hands. It's all gone. Anger is swelling about why multiple systems designed to warn people of the impending disaster all failed. I understand the anger, and I understand the high emotions. People are looking at a life in ruins. Some have lost relatives. There were many dead. I can understand the anger very well. But on the other hand, I have to say again, this was an event that nobody could have predicted. The water rose incredibly quickly. The water gauges stopped working at some point because they simply weren't made for that. Nobody could have foreseen this. It was a situation where the water was twice as high as the last floods or more. With more heavy rains expected in the coming days, locals fear that this may not be the last of their sorrows and that the waters may rise again.
DW correspondent Benjamin Alvarez-Gruber is on the ground for us in the town of Ahrweiler, which is one of the worst hit areas. Benjamin, hello to you. It has now been nearly 2 weeks since the floods. I know that you've been on the ground for us for several days now. How are things looking at this point?
That's right. We've been here since Monday evening, and the situation has changed very rapidly. So starting on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there were a lot of volunteers here working, cleaning streets, cleaning debris. But now the situation, fortunately, is calm, and also the weather forecast that predicted strong rainfalls was wrong this time. Behind me, for example, you can see one of an emergency center that has been installed here next to the train station in Ahrweiler. As you can see, a lot of bottles, there's water donations, there's food, there's a lot of clothes donations, and the Red Cross is here giving COVID-19 jabs and also tetanus jabs for residents and also for volunteers. They've played a crucial role. People coming from all over Germany to help also with this rescue efforts. But now, so Sunday and Monday, they've been asked to not come to this place as they could cause huge traffic jams. Yesterday, we were stuck in traffic for 2.5 hours to come here from the city of Bonn. So now we have a big cleaning operations, and a lot of trucks are carrying debris out of the city. That's not that easy either because there are several bridges here that have been destroyed. So there are not so many entries to the city. But overall, the situation is relatively calm here.
All right, so we can see people have been getting organized, and yet for many who lost their homes, I think now only the shock must be really setting in. And I'm just wondering, where do people go who have no home to sleep in?
for many, this past days have been really a traumatic experience, not just for the residents, but also for the helpers. So you could see this initial shock where a lot of people, the only thing that they could do trying to cope with the situation was trying to get buckets and trying to clean the homes. But now we see that a lot of people are tired, cleaning mud, cleaning houses for days, for nights, for 8, for 9 days now. So there are emergency shelters outside not only of Ahrweiler and other cities that have been hard hit by last week's floods, but emergencies, of course, prepared for the situation in case we would have had strong rainfalls here in the regions, for more emergency shelters for the residents. Some of them are coming up. Of course, it's voluntary to leave the houses. Many of them are not able to live there anymore, especially when it is in the city center next to the riverbank. So some of them are slowly coming back to see if they can save anything, and of course hoping that this financial and unbureaucratic help that the federal government has promised for the flood victims will be quick and will help them to recover and continue after this tragedy.
DW's Benjamin Alvarez-Gruber reporting for us from Ahrweiler. We thank you so much.